With Zero-Shot, you can create custom classifiers in Caravel without any training data. In this video, we'll cover how to set up a classifier to use Zero-Shot, how to add labels to that classifier, using the preview module to test and adjust the settings of that classifier for better results, and how you can use your classifier that has Zero-Shot to analyze all of your historical data. To get started, let's go ahead and create a new classifier. For this demo, we'll select Customize My Own, and then in the resulting screen, we want to select Create Ensemble as the method. First, we need to pick a name. Think of this as the category of your labels. For this use case, we're going to say we're an apparel brand. So for the name, we'll choose Apparel. All your labels will be organized underneath this name. Next, you can tell your classifier if you want to predict sentiment or not. Next, we'll add our labels. As you add them, this pill updates to show you how they will appear in your feeds. For our first label, we'll predict fit. Separately, we can provide a zero-shot label. Oftentimes, this value may be the same as the name that you chose for your label, but this is what Caravel uses to understand mentions of your label within your text. A quick tip to ensure you have a good zero-shot label is to not use any terms that are too vague that can be interpreted many different ways. Caravel's zero-shot model works to understand your label, so you want to be sure to use something meaningful in this input. And the best way to narrow in on a value here is to try it out and test it. Before we do, let's go ahead and create all our other labels. The duplicate label button makes this really easy. We'll create another label to predict how customers feel about the look of our apparel. But we'll use a different zero-shot label here that is more descriptive, so we'll try Design. We'll create another to predict mentions of comfort, we'll also want to pick up mentions of the material that was used to make the product, and for this zero-shot label, we'll try both fabric and material. And for our last label, we want to understand what customers are using our product for. So we'll create one called Use. In the zero-shot label, we'll want something more descriptive than that. So we'll choose the word Activity. Now it's time to test it out and see how our labels work. Let's input a sample of a customer talking about fit to see how that first label performs. As you can see, it did not pick it up. So let's click View Scores to see how Caravel's zero-shot model scored this classification. We can see it didn't score very high for fit, so we probably need to fix our zero-shot label. But we do see this other label. Caravel includes this label automatically so that it can predict when your text is not a match for any of your labels. Looking at this sample of text, we can see that this customer is mostly talking about size. So let's go back to our zero-shot label and edit it to include both mentions of size and fit. And our adjustment worked. And if we view the scores, we can now see that our classifier is pretty confident that this is about fit. Let's try another sample about fit. It doesn't classify this one either. It is most confident that this is about fit, but it isn't quite crossing that 50% confidence threshold. This may be because it is kind of about fit and kind of about comfort. So let's go back to our label and adjust that confidence threshold so it picks up this mention as fit. We could input 0 in the confidence value, and Caravel will predict the most likely label. But we'll input 35, so it uses some discretion when there is ambiguity between the predicted labels. And we'll go ahead and fill out this value for all our other labels as well. With those confidence adjustments, it now picks up this sample as a positive classification of fit. Now let's see how it performs with samples of our other labels. I'm pretty happy with the performance of this classifier. So let's move over to the Analyze step, where I can select all my sources of feedback and analyze them using this new classifier I just created. You have the optionality to select specific sources here to analyze. So if you want to just look at your return and refund feedback or Amazon reviews, you can do that. You can also select a specific date range to analyze your feedback within. For this, we'll do it all. When you create your classifier, it will automatically be applied to any new text that comes in. This Analyze step is for applying your classifier to data that is already synced to Caravel, your historical text. And that's it. Now our zero-shot classifier is going to work labeling all of our text. If you'd like to use this classifier we just made, you can find it in our library.